Yes, here I am. Greeting from the Erie Coast. This is Matt Shad, and this is another episode of the Zoot Report, Sunroof Edition. Wow. Good morning, everyone. It is currently 72 degrees here, Northeast Ohio. I took the weekend off. It felt really fucking good. I'm sorry, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta go dark. You know what I mean? You just gotta walk away from social medias and all that and do other stuff. So I do apologize for not doing live streams and whatnot, but man, it felt really good to not be tied in to the social media umbilical cord. And I encourage a lot of y'all to do that. I really do. I encourage everybody to do it. Mentally, I feel great. I mean, and that transfers over to the physical side as well. By the way, skull. That's what we're going to talk about today. Failure. Failure is not an option. No, it's not. It's a reality. It is. You know, failure happens. It happens a lot. A lot in life. I mean, it's the in Buddhism, it's the cause and effect. You know, we have this preconceived notion excuse me, that when we set our plans into motion, that they will be fulfilled. You know, sometimes the universe says no. Sometimes God says no. No. You know, I don't know. Sometimes the devil says no. There's always something that happens that creates a failure. It's just welcome to life. I mean, really, welcome to life. I am currently running late for work. I'm extremely late for work. It's 8:10. I'm supposed to be there at 8. Well, before 8, and you know, I'm at least 20 minutes out. So I've got an L for this day, and in the corporate sense, it's going to carry on for a long time. They're going to hold this over my head for a long time. Just the way it is. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, it's no point in trying to change anything. It's just their way it is. They know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. It's an L. Write it up as a loss. Shit happens. The thing is, you know, back in the old days, this would have crushed me. This would have crushed me. This would have enraged me. This would have had me just, what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm a loser. I can't do nothing right. Oh my God. Why? You know, da. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks for everyone involved. You know, there are people counting on me at work to be there. Customers are counting on me to be on time. I mean, it's a trickle-down theory, right? It trickles down. The amount of failure that I have caused today is it's pretty extensive. But you know, and it's all because I'm late. That's it. I'm late for a very important date. And yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. I've told everybody I need to tell that I'm going to be late. They're like, all right, we'll see you in 20 minutes. And I'll probably have some paperwork to sign when I get to work. I don't know. Now, the thing about that kind of failure is it rarely happens. In my life, it rarely happens. Being late, it really, it's not the end of the world. I don't know, maybe it is. Maybe I get to work and, you know, there's always that sense of doubt and shit like that. You know, like, well, you know, worst case scenario, I'll walk in and they say, yeah, turn in your shit, you're out of here. But I predict that those chances are going to be slim to none. They're just going to write it on. It's going to be a permanent. It's going to be on your permanent record. You know, see how they hold you accountable, which they should. That's good. I mean, hold me accountable. But I take full responsibility for this one. There's no excuse. No excuses for what I did. Me being late. You know, me being under the weather. You know, I probably should have took a day off. I really should have. But you know, here I am. My sense of duty is compelling me to get to work. And just go ahead and take the L. Fuck it. Let's go. And you know how it is. You're late as fuck and you're stuck behind this slow motherfucker. Man. I think that's more enraging than anything. But failure's gonna happen, right? There's nothing I can do about it. I can't change this. The only thing going for me right now is that I think I've never been late. Maybe once in the past 2 years. I don't know. I'd have to look at the records. I don't know. I've never been late. It's like my first time being late. So, you know, they're gonna look at me and go, all right, well, yeah, don't do it again. And I'm gonna do my damnedest to not do it again. Absolutely, right? I mean, but you know what? Shit happens. Things happen. I can expect the unexpected, but I don't know exactly what the specifics are. You know what I mean? I might get a flat tire, truck may die. I mean, this might be my day that Murphy's Law just, you know, boom, comes down upon me. I don't know. So far, so good. So what? I'm still late. And there's no sense beating myself over it. You know, beating myself up over it. I don't even know if I'll get asked to today. You know, there's the whole obvious, which I've already stated. You have to be here on time. You're failing everyone. You know, they try to guilt trip you, of course, right? I don't even know if that's going to happen. They're like, well, you know, this is your first time in 2 years ever being late. I guess we can forgive you this one, but you know, obviously later on, you know, if I do it again, you know, then it becomes a habitual problem. But life is always going. You've heard the cliches. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade, add vodka. Right? You know. I don't even like vodka. But I can sell it. I can sell the shit out of it. You know. This is how life is. This is how life is. You know, those who are highly successful, that are winners in life, right? They fail a lot. There's a lot of, I mean, they try their damnedest to not fail. You know, and that speaks to the kind of person they are. You know, all our plans, we push our plans, and we make plans to do things, but there's always a little something there that doesn't work, that the plan just goes to shit, and you're left with a pile of crap, pile of shit that you didn't intend to make. There might be lives at stake. There might be your livelihood at stake, someone else's livelihood, and it might be so catastrophic and detrimental that it changes lives. That life is all about getting over that shit. I mean, you can say karma, right? Karma's a bitch. It was my day. I drew the fucking karma lottery. Bad karma lottery. Congratulations. And I might be the agent of bad karma for somebody else who deserves it. I don't know. I mean, it's not even that I deserve this. It just happens, right? Yeah, I could have made plans to stay up, to get my ass up, but my mind and my body said no, thank you. You're gonna just lay there. We need a little bit more time to recharge. I'm like, well, okay, that's how I look at it. And it's too late to argue with it. It's done. It's a done deal. I cannot change this. Nor can anybody else. Yep, I hit the highway. There's gotta be a better way, I will recover from this, hopefully. Okay? Things happen, failures happen, and you learn from it. And like I said, all these people that win in life, they've got a lot of L's under their belt. But the thing about, there's the different kinds of losses, right? These are you start to analyze them, and you're like, well, okay, yeah, I could have prevented that myself if I would have been up and at 'em at the time that I needed to be up and out the door by a certain time. All right, so that was my fault, right? That's my failure. That's my fault. That's human nature too, by the way. You can't always be perfect. You're always going to have an off day, right? There's always something there that is an L. Most of the time we overcome that shit. Most of the time our willpower and our determination drives us through all the L's that could be there, right? We make all the right choices. We do all the right things. And we experience small little L's, small little losses here and there, but the overall goal was achieved, right? Yeah. But if it's a big L, right? You failed at something major. You got to analyze it. Was that my fault? Okay, I didn't have the forethought. All right. So you got many different kinds of L's. Beyond my power and control, right? This was something I could not change. Is that right? Yes. Did not foresee this one. There's a lot of powers of there's a clause. There's an insurance clause. I forget. Power. You're covered against tornadoes, earthquakes, hurricanes, and acts of God. like acts of God. Like, you know, I don't know what happened, but this dump truck fell through my roof into my living room. Yes, fell. It didn't drive in, it fell from the sky. That's an act of God, shit like that, right? I've seen that on some insurance clauses. Things happen. Things that you cannot explain. Things that you cannot predict or foresee. Or at all. I mean, there's nothing you can do. It just happens. You know? Yeah, having a lot of knowledge, wisdom, and some luck. Because I have to say, I've literally dodged the bullet. And, you know, it's because of luck. You know, that proverbial standing in an open field and turn my head and a bullet whizzed by me. What happened? What? Oh shit! Somebody tried to shoot me. Or, you know, you're at a crossroads and you went left instead of right, and you were supposed to go right. And there's a truck barreling down the highway. Ran a red light. Fucking could have killed you, but you went the other way. I mean, is you chalk that up to luck, to divine intervention? You know what I'm saying? It shit happens. Shit happens. You never really know. I mean, you can do everything you can to be very proactive, do all kinds of preventative things, you know, and that will help you out a lot. But, you know, getting struck by a meteor, getting struck by lightning, you know, finding out that rats have chewed your fucking wires, you know, in your car, and as you're going down the road, the car goes dead. You know, you can't stop that. You know, but as preppers, we can have a plan, right? Sorry, I got a lot of shit in my lungs. You can have a plan, and you can implement that plan in the unforeseeable event that something happens. You know, and it's kind of like an insurance policy. So we plan for Murphy's Law. We plan for the loss, the incident that will, you know, be a catastrophic failure of the system, of you know, whatever the case may be, you know, starvation, famine, sickness, war. We have contingencies, and that's how you help to negate that. But in the end, hopefully it works. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know, you don't have control over all the factors involved. You really don't. I mean, there's the game of life, if you will, throws curveballs at you constantly. And, you know, greater people have failed and failed miserably and died because of these curveballs. And it's nothing that they could have done about it. Nothing at all. I mean, there's the whole, well, should have just stayed in bed, right? You know, there's that. Yeah, should have stayed in bed. I mean, maybe this is life telling me, yeah, you should have stayed in bed. I don't know. Maybe later on today I get a bigger L. I don't know. That's a pretty big L. regardless of holding yourself to a higher standard, right? Shit happens. And you managers out there, you people out there that manage people, right? You know, shit happens. People call off. People get sick. People quit. Your vendor or distributor doesn't come in that day because they had a big OL, right? They got hacked. They're going through a strike, and all their drivers said, "Nope, not today. We're not driving today." The regular driver that does that route, and only him. His appendix burst, right? Or something, and he's out today. And we've got Mr. Rookie Joe Schmuckatelli running the route, and he's like 2 hours late. So you can't control it. It's the variables of the universe. We might be able to predict it, and there might be some type of intuitive thing. There's that, But when you're blindsided by an incident that just stops you dead in your tracks, there's no point in beating yourself up. It happened. Lots of people were involved. Let's move on. Right? Oh, man. I just seen a car sticker. Sasquatch surfing and riding the Loch Ness Monster. He's throwing a peace sign. Yeah, that's epic. I like that. Sasquatch riding the Loch Ness Monster in a lake. Fucking epic. Anyway, things happen. Oh, there goes my the mesh. The mesh is waking up this morning. Good morning, mesh. So yeah, I know it happens. No sense in beating yourself up over it, or someone else over it. There's emotions get evolved, right? They're in there, but just understand that this happens, and how can we, analyze it? How can we stop this from happening? Can we stop this from happening in the future? And move on from there. That's all we can do. So yeah, I thank you all for hanging out with me today on this beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful day. We're supposed to get some storms. We're supposed to get like 70-mile-an-hour winds, maybe. I don't know what's going on. We'll see. I hope you all weather the storm fare thee well in weathering the storm. So this has been Mad Shad. Yeah. Thank you all for hanging out with me for the Zoot Report.